Hello everyone. So there was a question on the community about a dashboard related to quality testing, and I thought I'll probably make a video on this. Now the question here is that I want to create a dashboard for quality trend, month by month, release by release, and the question also talks about functionality, quality of bugs in different environment, valid, internal, external bugs, non-functional defects. So when it comes to quality, I believe we are talking about here a requirement. Let us say you have a requirement where you have like n number of bugs released. So it is of course not really um always straightforward, because let us say you're working on a requirement and you receive 10 bugs, but at the same time after maybe or for a different requirement you receive 5 bugs. Because the requirement is different, the number of defects would be different. And of course I'm not really an expert on quality assurance, but there is also something called as test coverage, right? And without going into details, when you talk about creating a dashboard in Jira, of course you can create a dashboard as long as you have information in Jira, like let us say a requirement and you have test cases defined, and your test cases could in a way uh, also talk about the coverage. Of course it is not really straightforward, but let us say you have a requirement with 10 test cases, and for those test cases, if let us say your test cases are failing or passing, you can figure out, you can basically look at the test coverage and or test number of test cases and number of bugs received for those test cases. Now there are a couple of ways to do it in Jira. You can of course do it using your own custom issue types, create a test case or maybe test campaign, or you can use Zephyr to do it in a better way, like nicely. And you can definitely report if you have if the question is that can you do it without any app, the problem is that in Jira you can definitely, using native dashboards, you can definitely report based on the count. Let us say you want to report a number of bugs over the next few months or in the past few months or days. You can do that. You can have a trend report. And if you're talking about month by month, release by release, um, different environment, you can possibly create different filters, internal bug, external bugs, as long as you have some information, I guess, that identifies your bug as internal or external, whatever. You can of course create different filters and show it on the dashboard. It works, but it is not really going to be a detailed dashboard that will do some calculations for you. Maybe if you want to display like a report where you want to start with a requirement, and for each and every requirement, maybe on a table you want to clearly highlight, let us say for this requirement you have 100 test cases, and you have out of those 100 test cases 90% pass or fail, whatever. And you can also report on the execution using Zephyr. And you can also look at the linked defects. So it is in a way possible, but you will have to use EasyBI definitely, and also depending upon what app you're using. If you're using X-Ray, you will get some of these reports, but X-Ray or Zephyr, they work nicely with the EasyBI. But if you want to do it without any app, my suggestion would be to dump everything in Excel or outside Jira and then report on it. So this is interesting actually, because, and by the way, I have made few videos on X-Ray, Zephyr as well, and plenty of videos on EasyBI talking about this. My personal preference would be to use EasyBI, because when you have EasyBI, your definition of what you want to see in the report you can control. So it gives you like greater flexibility. And that is it. Short video, but I wanted to share this thing about reporting on test management. All right, that is it. Bye bye.